Hi, everybody. My name is Kirsten, and I am going to demonstrate a quinoa chili in the pressure cooker for you today. This is a vegan recipe, and I find it kind of yummy. It's very hearty chili. It's smooth enough if you chop everything in fairly uniform sizes that it could be the topping for a vegan chili dog if you were going to go all chili doggish in that sort of a way. I mean, it's a great use of zucchini. If you have zucchini in the summertime, if you have shredded and frozen your zucchini in the wintertime. So kind of a quinoa zucchini chili is what I think about it. So the ingredients you need for it are some quinoa. This is a tricolor quinoa. It's got red, white, and black in it, but any color of quinoa that you want would work just fine. I just happen to prefer tricolor blend. And you'll need some celery, some onion. Store your celery after you take it out of the bag. If you buy it in a bag, store it in foil and it stays fresher longer in your crisper. Okay, you need a zucchini. You need some beans. You could use red beans, you could use black beans. Today I'm going to be using chickpeas because I have a whole mess of them. I cooked a whole mess of them and I've frozen them in different containers and I want to use the stuff out of my freezer. For liquids, you'll need some vegetable broth, carton of vegetable broth, homemade vegetable broth, or a jar of Better Than Bouillon brand vegetable broth or any other brand you've got. You will also need some tomatoes, a can of diced tomatoes, and this is a 14.5 ounce can. I happen to like Muir Glen fire roasted tomatoes myself, but you do you. You will also need some roasted red peppers, or roast your own, also would work. And you need some chilies because it's chili. I happen to have a jar of some medium hatch green chilies here, and we'll talk about why I have that later. But a little can of chilies, some green chili peppers, half cup of diced chilies you need for this. And then to season it up, a couple of cloves of garlic. Today I'm going to be using some dried minced garlic because it will rehydrate fully in the pressure cooker. And you will need some chili powder, and you'll need some cumin and some oregano. All of those together. And then you're going to taste salt and pepper it towards the end to make sure that your tastes are there. And I've got to let the dog out. So meet you back here. So to get started, I'm going to go ahead and hit the saute button. And if you'll notice, the light over here is underneath normal. The default setting is 30 minutes. That's what I like. I'm going to keep it at normal. If you wanted to cook at a higher temperature, you could push the saute button again and have it go up to more. If you wanted to cook at a lower temperature, push it again, have it go for less. Less is good for caramelizing onions, having something at a very slow simmer. More is good for searing meat or having something cook at a very high bubble to cook it down quickly while you're watching it and stirring it. So I've put it at the normal setting, and then when it gets hot, and it'll say hot, then we'll add the oil and start sauteing the onions and celery. But we're going to spice things up around here. Oh gosh, I did not mean that in the way it may have come across. I just wanted to wear a spicy apron for change because my kid made me a pepper apron and I never wear it. So I went ahead during the break and diced up the onion, the celery, the zucchini, the roasted red pepper. I rinsed the quinoa so that it can deactivate that enzyme that will make it a little bit bitter. And I opened up the can of fire roasted tomatoes. So I've got all my ingredients ready. And once this gets started, this is one of those, you just saute the onions and the celery a little bit, dump everything else in, stir it up a bit, and then cook it 8 minutes. Quickly release the pressure, boom, you're done. Ooh, I can feel the heat starting. It's not hot yet. And I will set aside things that we don't need. Told you that, told you that, told you this. By the way, these roasted red peppers are reminding me that I have another vegan instant pot recipe on YouTube that I'm going to link to right now, I hope. And that is for a chickpea flour egg bite with roasted red peppers in it. So look for that. All right, we're ready. At least I'm ready. I'm going to pour in the olive oil. I'm using some olive oil, whatever cooking oil you prefer to use, avocado oil, coconut oil, vegetable oil, canola oil, whatever floats your boat on a neutral cooking oil. That's what you should be using. All right. It doesn't say hot yet. I'm doing it early, but it is fairly warm. I wouldn't want to leave my hand down there. Let the oil get shimmery. And my stirring spoon. I've got a wooden spoon here, flat-edged wooden spoon, which is really good for stirring and scraping. I got this at IKEA. It cost a couple of dollars way back when, and it lasts and lasts and lasts. It only gets hand washed just while everything else is getting hand washed. All right, so I'm going to dump in the minced onion, diced onion, chopped onion, and I'm going to flip the camera so you can see it. Okay, so I'm going to saute the onions and the celery in the pan. Get them stirred to coat with fat. Ordinarily, this is when I would do salting because I'm a person who salts the onions and celery, but we're not going to do that quite yet because the recipe doesn't call for it. This recipe is from the Instant Pot Bible by Bruce Weinstein and Mark Scarborough. And it's been a tasty recipe. I was looking for my chili class. I was looking for a kind of a wide assortment of chilies that one would like to eat. And I always want to include food for everyone when I'm making food. So I have, the pork chili that I'll demonstrate in class, and a turkey verde chili if you are not a pork person, and a quinoa and zucchini chili if you are not even a meat person. We got you covered. There's a chili for everyone. So I'm going to give this a stir. I'm looking for the onions and celery to just get slightly softened, which will just take a couple minutes. And in the meantime, let me go over the different spices that I will need. Going to need a heaping tablespoon of chili powder and a couple of teaspoons of cumin, whatever, as well as oregano. And that should really do it all. And garlic. Okay. Want to make sure that I have everybody open and ready to go. You could use pans, red or black or white, beans or chickpeas. I cook these in my pressure cooker for about 20 minutes after soaking them. But without soaking, about 30 minutes, I would say. And I just dumped some in, covered it with water, threw in a bay leaf, and off they went. 30 minutes. Martha Stewart says to quickly release the pressure when the time is up, and then just let them sit in the hot water to finish. And that appeals to my laid back, hands off cooking attitude. So I do it, but you could allow a natural pressure release if you wanted. There are different ways. There's a lot of different ways to cook beans in a pressure cooker. And I even did a whole bean class about it, but talk to me later if you want to. All right, this is looking softened. So I'm going to go ahead and dump in the rest of the ingredients. I'm going to start with my garlic and my chili powder. And then I'm going to go from there into the quinoa and all the other stuff. Garlic. Where are you? 2 garlic cloves or 2 teaspoons dried minced garlic. If you have fresh, you got a thing of garlic, please feel free to deal with it. And we need some cumin, 2 teaspoons cumin, which I think is going to be, yeah, it's just going to be the whole jar, which will get refilled. I reorganized my spice system a couple of years ago, and it's working for me still, and I'm so happy about that. 1 of the oregano, and 2. This is Mexican oregano. Turkish oregano would also work, or the oregano from the country of your choice. Why not? And then a tablespoon of chili powder. Okay, let me switch so you can see what that's looking like. Give this a stir. And then I'm going to stir in the tomatoes. The zucchini. Oop. Quinoa. Roasted red pepper. Chickpeas in a partially frozen clump. Chilies. This is like a half cup. We'll eyeball this. And then 2 cups of vegetable broth. Now I'm gonna get the water to go with the concentrate vegetable broth from my can of tomatoes. There's a little measuring cup. All right. So let me give this a stir to get everything kind of mixed in. As we go through, we've got the onion, the celery, the vegetable broth, the quinoa, the beans, the tomatoes, the chilies, the roasted red pepper, zucchini, garlic, chili powder, cumin, and oregano. Take one more peek at it before I close and lock the lid. All right. I'm using my bean seal. Excuse me, Robert. I'm using my bean seal because I'm cooking with beans. And I always do that. Make sure you're turned and hit cancel. Okay, we're going to cook this at high pressure for 8 minutes. All right, this is going to cook at high pressure for 8 minutes, and then I will quickly release the pressure and show you how to finish it. And I just have to tell you, this is 40 ounces of diced chilies. Got it at Costco. He thought it was salsa. He likes green salsa. and it's not salsa, it's just diced chili. So I am using this up in instances where I would want to have a hatch chili, but you could use fresh jalapenos, serrano peppers, the chili level of your choice. You just want about a half a cup chopped for that. All right, meet you back here after when we're ready to release the pressure. Okay, the cooking time is finished, and I'm gonna quickly release the pressure. Okay, it's almost done, but we gotta wait for this pin to drop before I open. So food takes time. That was the pin drop. Okay, let me switch the camera. Here's where the pin dropped, and now it's safe to open. There'll be a little bit of steam. Oh, how pretty. So this is the point where you taste your chili and decide if you need any salt. Because we didn't put any salt in any of the making of this. So let me taste it. Does it need salt? Does it need lemon or lime juice? You know, what do I want to do? Mm, boy, that's good. I, oddly enough, don't think it needs any salt. I think that the salt from the 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 spices and the salt that was in that jar of vegetable broth seems to be good enough for me. I don't need a salt. But of course, you know, at the table serve if you need. So let's scoop this up. If you're keeping this totally vegan, I would top it with a little bit of cilantro, maybe a wedge of lime for squeezing a lime on there. But you could also, if you weren't serving this for a vegan, you could add some regular cheese, some sour cream. Would be very, very yummy. I'll end with a picture. But there you go. How to make a quinoa and zucchini chili in your pressure cooker. I think it's a good recipe for summertime because you can get the flavors of chili, but you don't have to heat up the stove. It's a good way to use your zucchini, again, without having to heat up the stove, but it's fresh and it's flavorful. And scoop this up with chips even. Oh, that would be a good one. We probably will work on that one for the picture. So there you go. Thanks. Go over the chili. I'll make some biscuits, some pepper biscuits. Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Kirsten, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to make a vegan quinoa chili, zucchini quinoa chili in a pressure cooker. So the ingredients you're going to need for this are. And I have to go get the cooking oil. Hi, Robert.